How's it going, everybody? David Hedge here, House Hedge Gaming, and today we're talking conventions. The convention season is up and running, and before you know it, Origins and Gen Con and Dragon Con will be here. And these are some tips and tricks that I've learned over the years to help you get ready for your next adventure. And these are primarily for conventions, but they can also help you out for sporting events, for concerts, any type of event. So hopefully they can help you get ready for your next adventure. So without any further ado, let's get started. Okay, first things first, before anything else, if you're planning on attending a convention this year, get your badge. Make sure you have your badge so you're able to get to your events. Make sure you're able to get admittance to the event itself because most conventions this day and age, badges do tend to sell out. So the earlier you can get your badge, the better, so you can be prepared and be ready to enjoy whatever convention you're going to. So, number one thing to remember, biggest tip of all, get your badge. Now, next tip, peruse the event catalog. Sometimes you'll need your badge to be able to register for events ahead of time to make sure you get your spot in whatever event you want to be in. So recently, Gen Con, prime example, which I'll be referencing a lot because I know I'll be going to that convention this year, as I do every year. Big surprise. But the event catalog just recently came out on the May 4th, one of the holiest days of Star Wars fans. May the 4th be with you. And may the event catalog treat you well. So the event catalog came out on May 4th, and now it's up for perusal. And if you have your badge, you can go on ahead and build your wish list and then get ready to submit it on the 18th because they give you a few weeks so you can peruse and make sure you can get whatever events you want to get into your wish list. And then you submit it 2 weeks later and then see what survives that gauntlet. It's almost as exciting as trying to get a hotel downtown, except in most cases a whole lot cheaper just to get the events. And then try your best to get a hotel outside of the convention area. But we'll go into that a little bit later. But make sure you peruse the event catalog and make yourself an itinerary of what you're planning on doing during your convention. This way, you have a plan of attack ready to go, and you can see which events you're able to participate in. Because a lot of events sell out really quick. There's some popular events that happen every year. Gen Con, like True Dungeon, for example, a lot of those they do tend to sell out first day that they are available to purchase. Also, some of the night events at the hotels are sold out first day. Uh, there's also sporadic events that pop up throughout the time between now and Gen Con or whatever convention that you don't know that we're going to be on the convention list on the event catalog, but they end up popping up at some point down the line and you somehow miss it or you somehow can actually catch it. Prime example of that last year, Game Nights was able to do a Game Nights live. The Command Zone was able to do a Game Nights live, and they had a live D&D, but they never really announced it publicly except for like after a few days once the events got posted. So I was lucky enough to just peruse the catalog, and sure enough, I was able to get into Game Nights Live and able to watch that event last year, and it was a fantastic time. And hopefully, they do it again this year. And if they do, I'm going to try to be lucky enough to get tickets to go and watch that again, and possibly the D&D Live as well if I'm able to do that. But make sure to check the event catalog when it goes up and make your wish list. If you're able to go ahead and purchase your events, go on ahead and purchase them. If you need to make a wish list, make your wish list and then get ready to submit it when everything's all said and done so you can be able to get ready to plan your plan of attack at your next convention that you'll be attending. Okay, you got your badge, you got your events. Now you need a place to stay. So, for a lot of convention cities, downtown hotels are extremely pricey. Let's face it, unless you are someone that's been going to these conventions for years and years, you have a basically a legacy type standing at a hotel, you're not going to get into a downtown hotel at a reasonable rate. Sometimes you'll see downtown hotels that are two, three, $400 a night, and they can be pricey on your own. So make sure you have a gaming group that you go with so you can help mitigate those costs. Help bring it down a little bit so you can spend more money at the exhibit hall than you do on the hotel. If you're going by yourself, which I've done this before, or if you're going with a few friends, but you want to be a little bit more, you want to save a little bit more money, search for the hotels outside of the city. There's a plethora of them around, especially here in Indiana. Around Indianapolis, there's a lot of hotels I've stayed at outside of Indy that saves you money. You do have to drive in. Yes, you got to drive in. If you use the, well, former Gate 10 parking, I forget which parking company it is now. It'll be in the description below in case you still need to get parking passes for Gen Con. Make sure you get those so you can drive in, get your parking spot, you're good to go. But last year, I also had luck finding parking spots just driving in. And sometimes you can find them and they're a lot less expensive than what they would be if you bought the parking passes. So make sure you do your research on that. If you're staying at a downtown hotel, uh, if you're lucky enough to get a downtown hotel, yes, it will be pricey, but at the same time, it's going to be very convenient to be able to just go back to your hotel room, grab a nap, grab a shower, grab something to eat, drop off stuff. You'll be all set. If you're staying at an outside hotel, you're going to be saving money, but at the same time, you will need to drive in. You may need to fight a little bit of traffic, and you may need to find a parking spot, but it's still going to be fine. You'll be able to save money, and like I said, you'll be able to put that towards the exhibit hall. But no matter which way, make sure you have a place to stay at the event you're going to, because you want to make sure you have somewhere that you can go and recharge and get ready to go back out into the convention center, because you're going to need it. Because sometimes you may need to recharge your social battery, you may need to recharge your recharge your brain in general, or you might need to catch a nap because your body's going like, all right, we need to slow down. You've been gaming for 12 hours. We need to sleep. So you may need somewhere comfortable to relax. You may need to have somewhere to take a shower and get refreshed, whatever you need. Make sure you have somewhere to stay. Make sure you have a plan to at least get some rest and have a place to stay, whether it be downtown or outside the city. Either way, you'll be all set so you can be ready for whatever lies ahead in your journeys. Okay, next thing to talk about is a subject that, as a big guy, I know about, and that is food and drink. Make sure to eat and make sure to stay hydrated. Conventions, you can be all hyped up and you can be excited and you'll be ready to go for whatever event you're going to. But if you don't keep hydrated and if you don't eat, chances are you're going to feel sick. Chances are you're going to wear down and you're going to have a foggy mind and you're not really going to enjoy yourself unless you get something to eat and something to drink and just stop and let your body fuel up so you can be ready to go and do whatever you would like to do. I have seen this happen time and time again. For example, a friend of mine who was in a Pro Tour event for Versus System, he played in day two and he did not eat or drink because he was constantly going from round to round to round to round. And he didn't let anybody know, hey, can somebody go grab me a protein bar, grab me some beef jerky, grab me something. And throughout the day, he kept feeling worse and worse and worse. And by the time he was done, he looked like an ad for death because he didn't eat, he didn't drink, and he couldn't make the plays he needed to make the final day because he wasn't able to think straight because he was so tired. He had his mind was cloudy and foggy because he was just completely out of it. And I've seen it happen to people at conventions too. They walk around, they look like zombies because they didn't get sleep, they didn't eat, they didn't drink because they're just so excited to be there. So make sure that you have a plan of attack when it comes to getting something to eat and making sure to stay hydrated. Now, for me, doing this for a good number of years, what I do is that I'll get gift cards leading up to the event for restaurants I know that are downtown, and I will make an itinerary of where I want to go to grab a bite to eat to get ready to continue on with my adventure. So whether it be to Subway, to Steak and Shake, to Hooters, to Noodles and Company, whatever places are in the area where you're going, do some research so you can go ahead and pick up gift cards. That way, like if you go to Kroger, you can actually get gas points and save on gas going to the event. Yeah, I'm done that plenty of times and it works out pretty well. The 4 times fuel points is no joke, trust me on that. But you're able to get your gift cards, and that way you can plan out your itinerary so you know what you're grabbing to eat and what you're wanting to do each day in between all the events that you're signing up for. So make sure that you have that planned out. Do your research of where you're going. So that way you have food options available to you. If they have a food truck rodeo, make sure you check that out. If they have restaurants close by, see what they got going. If you get gift cards there, go for it. If you're going to get food at the convention center, be mindful. It is pricey in the convention center, a little bit pricier than what you get outside food. So do keep that in mind. It's a last case, break in case of emergency type deal. If you don't have no other options, get something from the convention center. Also, take some snacks with you. Protein bars, beef jerky, something to help you keep going. If you want to have a little something sweet there, get you a little something sweet. But don't go full sugar load, or else you're going to have a sugar crash later on down the line. You'll be going through a sugar crush because you'll be crushing every game you go into, and you'll be running all over the place. So you'll never miss where you're going. But at the same time, at some point, that sugar is going to go, you're going to crash, and you're going to feel bad. So make sure you have some healthy snacks on you so you can be ready to go. And have a bottle of water with you, or a bottle that can hold water and you can refill the water station. Stay hydrated. Take care of yourself so you make sure that you don't get sick. To make sure that you don't feel bad so you can continue enjoying the convention you're going to, and to make sure that you're not missing anything. Because the last thing you want to do is not take care of yourself. You get sick, you get stuck in your hotel room because you feel bad, and then you're missing out on events that you planned on attending. So take care of yourself. Make sure you eat, make sure you drink, and you do that, you're going to be ready for your next part of whatever event you're going to. And you're going to be ready to have some fun playing the games you plan on playing. Next tip, make sure you have cash. Now, I know due to COVID, unfortunately, a lot of people don't carry cash anymore because COVID made us fear having cash and just using our credit card or debit card to get payments for stuff. But make sure you have cash because unfortunately in some convention centers there can be connectivity issues with the credit card readers and things of that nature. And some vendors actually still prefer cash over credit cards. So carry some cash with you. I'm not saying carry a boatload, don't carry a suitcase or anything like that. Just carry a little bit of cash. So that way, if you come across something and you try to pay for your card and they can't accept it, you have a little bit of backup funds so you're ready to go to purchase whatever you're going to purchase and then continue on your way to explore the exhibit hall. So the biggest thing, as I always say, cash is king. Carry some cash so you can have a little mix between cash and credit card or debit card so that way you're ready to purchase whatever you want to get at your convention. Okay, next thing, and this is probably one of the biggest ones, is be courteous to everybody. Whether it be just an everyday player like myself or a convention attendee, to the exhibitors, to cosplayers especially, be courteous to everybody. To cosplayers, one of the big things is that taking their pictures and respecting their personal bubble. Uh, if you come across a cosplayer and you want to get their picture, ask. Be polite and go, hey, do you mind if I grab a picture? 9 times out of 10, they will say yes. They'll put down their bags, they'll pose for you, you get a nice picture, you go on your merry way, and you got something to remember the event by because you met somebody who spent hours and hours and was creative enough to come up with a great cosplay of a character, and you see the technique and they see the detail in their armor and their weapons and everything like that. Be respectful of them. Ask to take a picture. If they say no, chances are they might be going to an event, they might be going back to their hotel. If they say no, go, okay, hopefully I'll catch you later. I've seen people go after people going like, come on, you want me to take your picture? Don't do that. If they say no, let them be. Plus, if you want a picture with a cosplayer or just anybody in general, and if you want to put your arm around them, just go, hey, do you mind if I put my arm around you? If they say yes, awesome. If they say no, then respect it. Respect their personal bubble. Just go, okay, cool. And then usually I'll just stand there and go like, hey, or something like that, or do like the classic Triple H wrestling pose. Just point and go, this person. You just got drafted to Raw, or you just won a championship. Uh, that's what I usually do. But I would always ask. So just be courteous to cosplayers. And as always, keep in mind with cosplayers, cosplay is not consent. I'm going to leave it at that. As far as exhibitors and other convention goers and everything, especially in the exhibit hall, when the exhibit hall is so cram packed with people, be mindful and courteous of where you're at. And make sure to say, this may sound childish or this may sound stupid and common sense, but make sure you say excuse me or pardon me or sorry, because a lot of people are going to have the big book bags. They're going to have carts and everything will be dragging behind them. And if you want to get from point A to point B, and if you need to nudge somebody, just go, hey, excuse me, pardon me. That goes a long way. Because if you don't, that may end up giving somebody bad vibes or bad juju, and they'll carry that throughout the day. And don't try and push around. Just go, excuse me, pardon me. Don't push. Just be polite. And you don't want to be the cause to have some. You don't want to be the cause of somebody having a bad day. Last year, I got ran over by carts. I got bumped into, and luckily, as a big guy, I got cushioned. It didn't hurt. But some people I've seen get knocked down. Some people I've seen get elbow jacked, and they get hurt. There's no reason for it. Especially with this day and age in conventions, a lot of times there's no convention exclusives that you need to go and get as soon as the doors open. There might be a game or something you want to get, but just remember, you can pick it up later on down the line. There's no reason to try and bum rush and knock people over and run to get to anywhere. I'm glad it's actually changed a lot from years past. I saw that a lot at conventions. I saw a lot at Gen Con where there would be exclusive figures, exclusive games that people would want to get into and be able to get there as soon as they can to get whatever exclusivity is going on. But I don't want to, you shouldn't do it at the cost of somebody's time at a convention and somebody possibly get hurt, whether it be hurt physically or hurt, you hurt their feelings, hurt them emotionally. You don't want to do that. Nothing is worth that, in my opinion. So be kind, be courteous, and be patient as well, because you may need to wait in lines to get your product. You may want to wait in lines to go from one area of the exhibit hall to another because of how crowded it is. And everybody else is going to be doing the exact same thing. And the last thing you want to do is to lose your patience or just start pushing through people and then causing them to have a bad time at the event. So just be cool. it's it's probably the best way I could put it. Is just be cool, uh, keep your calm, be courteous, and just remember we're all there to enjoy the convention. We're all there to have a good time. Let's work together and just be there for each other and just have a great time and not be the cause of somebody having a bad convention experience. So if you need to get through somewhere, just be patient. What you want will still be there. And if it's not, you can always pick it up later. Next up, the exhibit hall. So everybody has an exhibit hall. Every convention has an exhibit hall that you get to go and peruse and check out brand new action figures and statues and board games and card games and everything else under the sun. Study your exhibit hall map. Make yourself a plan of attack for whatever you really want to go to that you know you want to check out so you can get to there and get the demos and everything that you would like. And if you're able to pick up the games, go ahead and pick up the games. So, one place I usually go to is Board Game Geek. They usually have a list of all of the hot games that are going to be debuting at Gen Con or just recently been released, and they'll be at Gen Con this year. One of the ones I'm looking forward to this year is Slam Throne from Roxley Games, that's set in the Dice Throne universe. It's basically Pog with Dice Throne characters, and Pog's actually coming back too. What's old is new again. So being able to know where Roxley Games booth is going to be, I can go there. I could check out Slam Throne, hopefully pick up some stuff, and be ready to play later on down the line. Uh, but there's all sorts of other games that'll be coming up at Gen Con. There'll be a lot of TCGs making their debuts, and you want to make sure that you can find the spot where they're going to be so you can get there and at some point check it out. So make yourself a plan of attack to go to the exhibit hall and be able to find out where your specific company is going to be so you can check out whatever they're going to be offering at the best 4 days in gaming or whatever convention you're going to, so you can be able to demo it and hopefully pick it up that day. If not, maybe you can go ahead and get the pre-order details so you're ready to go to pick up the game later on down the line. So watch out for the exhibit hall. Do your research on what games are going to be debuting, and know which companies are making those games so you can have a plan of attack so you can be ready to get your game on. Now, this is a big one. Say you want to go to a convention, but you do not have the funds to go. This day and age, times can be hard, money can be tight, but you still want to go to a convention. Volunteer. There's plenty of ways to volunteer at a convention, whether it be at the convention staff themselves, one of the exhibitors. True Dungeon is a great one to volunteer for. I've done it before, and it was an amazing experience. You can go to the convention, you can get your badge, you can possibly get paid. You can get paid in money that you can actually spend at the convention, or you can get free games from the exhibitor that you're working with. There's so many different ways to get in there, and a lot of the exhibitors and even the event staff, the event running the show, they'll actually offer you hotel rooms if you're from out of town. There might be limited room or limited to number of people they can actually offer hotel rooms to, but you might still be able to get in and get a hotel room, get your badge covered, and still enjoy the convention. Now, you'll have to work for it for some of it. So, for example, with True Dungeon, they have a day shift and a night shift at most of their events. What I did when I volunteered for them, I worked the night shift. I worked from 7 p.m. to about 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. But I had the entire day to go to the exhibit hall to do everything I wanted to do. And then at night, be ready to meet a lot of great people in the True Dungeon community. And it was a blast. And I had so much fun with it. And hopefully you'll be able to as well if you decide to go that route. So if you don't have the funds to go, or if you want to save just to save money to go to a convention, volunteer. Yes, you'll have to work, but you'll have the rest of the time to yourself. A lot of conventions are 24/7, so you may have to work during the day, but at night, it's yours. Go play in whatever event you want to play in. Some of the night events are spectacular. You can play in and just go to attend. And if you work at night, you get to spend the day during the exhibit hall. It's a good trade-off. And plus, you might get a free hotel. You get some swag out of it. You get paid for it. And best of all, you don't have to pay for the badge, and you get to attend the convention on somebody else's dime. Like I said, all you got to do is put some time in, but you know what? That actually builds up uh, good vibes with whoever you're working with, and they may want you back again for some other conventions. So you might be able to get to go to other conventions and work for them because you did a fantastic job with them before. So who knows? This might build up to something else later on down the line. But if you want to if you want to go to a convention, and if you want to save money, volunteer time. And that way you'll get compensated and you'll be able to get to the convention and you get to do it. And all you have to do is just say hello to people, sell them some stuff, check in some bags, and just be awesome and be a part of somebody's convention experience. Well, there you have it. That is some tips and tricks that I've learned over the years to help you get ready for your next adventure. Now, like I said, a lot of this in the video was basically for conventions, but this same principles can be used for concerts, for sporting events, many other different events. Uh, these tips and tricks can be used for those. But for this year and most every year, I got Gen Con. And hopefully I can get into a few other things this year. I was able to go to the Indiana Comic Con earlier this year, back in March. And there's plenty of other things that are going to be happening around. Hopefully I can get to those and do some in-depth coverage of those when the time comes. But the countdown to Gen Con is on. I will be at Gen Con this year, and there's going to be a lot going on. And there's some stuff that I can't wait to tell you about coming up in the very near future of what I'll be doing at Gen Con. And hopefully I'll be able to meet some of you while I'm there this year. But thank you all so much for checking out this video. If you like it, please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and let everyone know that House Hedge Gaming is here for all of your gaming needs. So until next time, everyone, stay safe and take care. Hey, you still here? Hey, hold on. Before you go anywhere else, you're here at the end of the table, right? Are you here at the end of the video? I'm at the end of the table. You're at the end of the video. I just made a shake. So one thing I do want to point out, I just said that there's some stuff that I'm going to be doing at Gen Con this year. This year, I'll be giving away some ribbons. And this year, I'm giving away some lanyards as well. I got lanyards made, I got ribbons made, but I'm also going to be doing a contest. So, and I'll do a big video later on down the line so you can see what's going on. But these ribbons and those lanyards are going to have some way I'm going to mark them to where if you get a special marked one, I'm going to give you something else with it. Might be some PAX cards, might be a board game. You don't know, but more details to come. But if you're at the end of this video, I want to do something a little bit special, and I want to thank you for watching the whole video, and I appreciate you. So definitely, I'll have, like I said, these ribbons, just got them made. I'll have some lanyards, just got them made. I'll be giving those out throughout the convention, along with a lot of other stuff. So definitely stay tuned for that video when it comes up. Now you can end the video. Watch some other videos too while you're at it. There's a lot of great videos on the channel. I got a lot more coming up, so stay tuned.